our program here, we're going to obviously start with the men and Coach Foster, then Zach Howell, and Colin Hardrick. So we'll do opening statement from Coach, and we'll take the questions for student athletes, and then follow up with questions for Coach. If we have time for one-on-ones, if you guys want anything done, we'll see what we can do there. They've got another engagement to get to, but we'll do our best. Additionally, we do have food in the back. If you guys want to grab anything now or afterwards, feel free. And also our GA Josh over here has credentials if anyone has any to pick up that has not already done so. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. Panthers picked 5th in the GLVC preseason poll earlier this week. Thanks in large part to the 2 gentlemen we have with us today. Colin coming off an all-freshman season, all-defensive team season. Zach returning leading scorer. So good nucleus to work from. Also a lot of new faces for Coach. With that, I'll turn it over Coach Chris Foster to enlighten us on how preseason practice and workouts have been going. And like I said, then we'll go into your questions for the athletes.
Hey, thanks, Eric. Thanks for being here. My voice is a little bit gone, so you have to work with me. But we're really excited about the year. We got, as Eric mentioned, we got 8 returners. We got 8 new guys, so a nice mix. The guys have had a really productive fall through our conditioning and strength training, and then transitioning into practice now. We're getting pretty close to some scrimmages, so we'll really be able to kind of gauge where we're at. But couldn't be happier with the work ethic of the group, the attitude of the group, the unselfishness of the group, and just really buying into what we're trying to accomplish. I think Colin and Zach and Luke Stubbs and Ethan Watley, Elijah, some of those returning guys have done a great job of being leaders, leading by example, getting the new guys acclimated, to a new way of doing things. And so that's been really encouraging, and we're just really excited to get started and kind of see where we're at against some competition other than ourselves.
All right, we'll take your questions for student athletes.
Zach, just talk a little bit about what the team looks like in practice from last year. How much better is it, do you think, that it is from last year, and just what you're looking forward to yourself?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of guys who are just very excited to be out there. Like, I think whenever we make mistakes as a team in practice, like, I think it's all going for the right things. Like, it's never really out of laziness or like from a lack of effort. It's more just like, we're trying to do the right thing. We're in a new system. We're trying to figure it out. And then, another thing is we have 8 freshmen, but I kind of don't really see that as a huge disadvantage, because in this era of college basketball, like, there's not really the 4-year seniors anymore. So I think it's just going to be, how quickly can we get guys adapted.
Zach, I know you returned to your hometown last year, but what was the transition year like, and how much more maybe comfortable and settled in do you feel entering year 2 here?
I feel a lot more comfortable. I felt like the game has slowed down for me. I tried to give myself maybe just a little bit of grace last year, because it was my first season where I was playing 30 minutes a game. So it's been really nice to have a full year of games, and now a full off season and fall practices, to just be a little bit more comfortable. And then for the home aspect, it was pretty cool last year to have my parents go to every game. My brother lives in KC, so he came down for a couple weekends to get to watch me, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Colin, for you guys, obviously, playing against yourself kind of gets boring after a while, right? So what is this group like most about playing against itself? Like, how do you guys make practice fun or challenging every day to really ramp up for what's going to be a full slate of GLVC here soon?
I think the coaches do a great job of mixing up the teams. It's never like heavy loaded on one side with a lot of guards or a lot of bigs. It's very mixed, and that makes the competition so much better for us in practice. And we're very excited to play somebody else, though. We've been bumping each other, doing a lot. The guys been getting after it.
Do you guys ever have like any fun like in scrimmage games or any kind of challenges between the players?
We do. We guys have guys that might start in the locker room, go out and just make each other better. The iron sharpens iron. So especially with our big room, they like to get after each other.
That's it.
Colin, you were a freshman last year, so 8 freshmen coming in. What's your word to these guys, and what can you pass along to them about surviving this first year?
I would say just grow in your role. Like for me, last year it was more coming into what the team needed. We were down a point guard, so I had to grow that role. For that, it may be guys that might not be able to play as much, so they just need to be able to practice hard, get after it, and make each other better.
Zach, I guess like, being in a system right gives you familiarity. What was the hardest thing about playing in the Valley last year, and what's something you feel like really accustomed to now?
I think we struggle a little bit, especially myself on the road. I think that's one of probably my main focuses is just like individually just getting myself going. I think sometimes I hurt us by missing my first couple shots of the game, and then that kind of lingers on. So I think just whether that's not even necessarily scoring, just trying to get myself involved by even if that's a screen assist or giving somebody else a bucket. I think just trying to get myself immersed in the game early will help me and it will help us.
Coach, can you touch on Zach's season last year and what are your expectations from him and Collins leaders on this team?
Yeah, we've really challenged these guys as leaders because we knew that was going to be important, and that's something that, from the first day of fall, these two guys, along with Luke Stubbs, we've really tasked with being our main leaders. And I think, you kind of hit the nail on the head. I think Zach having that year of experience where he was playing heavy minutes, he was a guy that we relied on a lot. I think that experience is really going to benefit him, and we've really combed back through last year's film and looked at opportunities to learn on both sides of the ball. And, the one thing about Z is he's a very coachable. He wants to get better. He wants to be coached hard. He wants to be told the truth, even if it doesn't feel good in the moment. And so he's done a great job with that, and really excited to see how that year of experience is really going to help take his game to the next level. And same for Colin, just, having that year where he was one of our guys that we had out there a ton, and that's going to be the same this year. And, really continuing to grow as a leader. And I think Colin has always led by example. He's got a very business-like approach to everything we do. And it's just getting him out of his comfort zone a little bit to be more vocal, to be more of a vocal leader in the locker room and on the floor, obviously, as a point guard. And so, he's done a great job with that. But those are two things that we're really pushing these guys to really grow into that leadership role, because that's going to be important with a fairly young or inexperienced roster.
Coach, 5th in the preseason poll. Talk a little bit about the GLVC, where you fit in there. How do you like that poll pick?
I don't put a lot of stock in. I'm interested in postseason polls. I think it's great. It shows that we're respected around the conference, and people are taking notice of what we're doing. Certainly a lot higher than we've been picked in the last couple of years. So that's encouraging. And the league, I don't know. I think we had 19 of our 20 all-conference guys aren't in the league anymore, and that's just kind of the world we live in. And so a lot of new. I think we got 8 new guys, and I would say that's probably on the low end for our league. But When you look at the teams some of the teams that got picked at the top of the league are the teams that have the most continuity, they have the most guys back. So it'll be interesting to see. I kind of tell everybody, I don't know necessarily what the league has, but I've been in this league for a long time, and we have really good coaches in this league, so there'll be really good teams. As far as what that looks like and how that plays out, it'll be interesting to see, but I think we're all trying to, we're trying to operate in this new world where there's just this constant turnover, so, it can be challenging.
Hey, Coach, staying on that exact topic, even though it's hard, right, because every year turnover is more insane than ever, but do you feel like in some ways that's a level playing field because you know that next year's team might not be even close to what our conference defending champion could be, so kind of all you guys are in the same boat, coaching-wise, team-wise, rebuilding-wise?
Yeah, I think, from that perspective it is. It's kind of a fresh start every year. So I think that is a positive. The part that I don't like is you lose the relationship piece of it. Everything's a little bit more transactional. Guys are here for a year or two, and then they're off to their next place. And so we're very thankful. We got a handful of guys on this year's team, including these two guys next to me, that certainly had opportunities to go other places, but really love Drury and what we're about here, and really bought into coming back and helping us have success.
Any chance on you guys recruiting a G League player?
No. No G League player.
Now, you said something about a new system. Is there a new system that you're doing or implementing?
No, I don't know, is it new? So we did have, our two assistants left last year, Coach Sonnen and Coach Lester, and those guys did an unbelievable job. Coach Sonnen ran a lot of our offensive scheme stuff. Coach Lester did a lot of our defensive scheme stuff. And so with Coach Briscoe, the offensive stuff's a little bit different. The things that are always going to be consistent is we want the ball to move, we want to be unselfish, we want to get great shots. So though philosophy-wise, it's very similar. How we're going about doing that is a little bit different. And then defensively, we hired Coach Pearson, who was at Iowa State, who runs a very similar defense to what we did last year. So defense is a few minor differences, but I would say more consistency on that side than the offensive side from last year.
Anything else for Coach or Colin or Zach? All right, we thank you all for your time, and we will have a short break, and then we'll come back with the Lady Panthers.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Colin.
That's perfect. Audio should be great.
care of you.
You guys are doing good.
Switch it to last second.
I haven't heard anything that they're switched to. I figure that Michael will tell me what he's done, since he does them on that game, I would know.
I saw something that, well, the one that I saw that switched was cartilage. I think they're playing cartilage.
Do you get the scores from Mount Vernon consistently? Do you want them? Do you want a text or a call? Like,
Stay up late. They went overtime and I'm like, that dumb. Then I saw you in the morning and I'm like, so you had to at least come around to see the outcome.
well, what I did was, so I had it 17-7.
Yeah, they had it. It was over right
That was
then.
over.
I've been doing like a lot of press conferences. Because you know, going, you guys just put it back into you know, I don't like so what am I saying?
Go up there, I play in the locker room, like next time, just call them. I have to be at Drury early when I was a kid. So I did it. Through it, and I mean, I wasn't quick as those guys are driving the same.
I so much like that.
So, since Missouri Valley football games are ever on TV, I'm watching, I'm thinking, now for a couple of games that I've been able to watch on TV. Yeah, just and their opponents, they look bigger. They look like a different level. But it's actually not as good as the Valley. It's legitimately a move up, or it's not as good as the Valley.
You have the Liberties, the Western Kentuckies.
Yeah.
Those guys, you know, the
Yeah.
so you get like from 6 down.
I have a feeling we're not gonna get
I would have told everybody that the
I like diving into some category.
Yeah.
I remember when I was doing shows,
Let's bring her own.
and I would drive stuff crazy. Because they always had a segment where I always would say, Coach, 7 of the 10 teams are in the top 20. They were like, really?
Maybe we're gonna get charged for it.
It was brutal. What? You can't look at the schedule and, all right, well, these 3 or 4 will be no problem.
And then,
Even if you're average, because you don't have 4, at least if you're bad, they're like, well, you got a chance in this.
I've never understood why Steck was so adversarial. There's nobody in Springfield who hates you. It's not like
It's like, you know, fighting uphill against media. It's town's got a lot of negativity to it. I'm like looking around going, it does. It does. My experience is, we're all kind of rooting for you.
Wait, now, aren't you in
You picked on art. Well, yeah, but we're so starved for winning football here.
For heaven's sake, don't reload it.
We're all on your side, actually.
And then it was,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but the end of the week was hard. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes it was that hard.
I remember my first semester.
And I told my wife, I said,
Freshman year, you find out.
and then it's like, stick, we're not, in Ohio, there's no school, there's no rivalry, nobody cares. Relax.
Oh, God. He could have been. I mean, I'm sure he was fun at times because he has such a big personality. Like,
When he was done, he got left here, hates the media.
yeah.
Do you think you're gonna lose a few credentials?
Where am I going to walk out to the car and stick it in the fire?
What are those for your, do you even have those anymore? Well, you're double duty.
That's right. Hey, you tell you all about that.
Let me tell you about it. I was doing that before it was popular. I was the first person in Channel 10 that shot my own stories on the weekend because Karen Libby said, well, will you do this? I said, well, what's my alternative?
Yeah, what's your alternative?
And I mean, it really was. And I said, no, I'd much rather do that. And then Joe and I would find the dumbest thing going on, like a festival, and I'd go make a funny story out of it.
That's what it always is.
Well,
It's like sports game.
that's what it is still now. But the rest of it was news.
You notice that, you may have noticed, but that PBA tournament moved to St. Louis. Too bad, I enjoyed that.
Upon further review, my tenure there, the chance I should have applied for the weekend but I kept thinking someone was gonna leave and I'd get a week. Nope. Then next star came in and we were over 40. They said it was 35.
Oh, I didn't know about right. I just thought, I think that's where, Weber's from.
Over 40.
Same.
Over 50. I gotta say that's your story. Over 50. Is that your story? You're sticking to it? I'm over 40. That's all you got now.
Well, I knew we were in trouble the first meeting with the next star news consultant. Comes in, asks all of us our background. I've been in the business. First thing comes to mind. Well, I've never been in a newsroom before. That's when I looked at Joe Dawes.
I kind of like to get
I
that.
know where our experience is going. Joe goes, no, and I said, no.
15 and even 14 pound balls. So much power.
They kept hearing more, but he was retiring in 2 months. But any of us with flecks of gray.
I'm old with 15 the last several years. I didn't do it 16 or 15, but I wanted to keep that.
Well, we did get some cool new cameras before they left here.
My knee was bothering me, and I
We got the,
tried more. I'm too busy.
we got the DAC, the digital space. Or that works.
When I was in Sioux Falls,
Dave Smith came. Baby cam?
but it's like,
How long you had that?
I said, "Oh, it's like, it'd be like something in." He goes, you have the basic.
You're supposed to get a new camera.
But generating the power.
Supposedly, it's every 4 years.
That's different.
Okay.
And if you're going
I said, I don't want one of these. I got it right here.
Yeah. They only need some giant thing.
Oh, please, can I have the thigh slapper back and the 15-pound battery? Please,
There you go.
No, 23.
That's right.
And I can't even remember being Hell, I can't remember being 50.
Vegas.
I can't remember being 60. Maybe.
Oh, no.
That'll make you approximately 2.5 years younger than my son.
There you go. Yep. It's funny, because when
When I
you're
said I'd be basketball, games, offspring, the first year I did these radio, and pretty soon my grandchildren.
I was gonna say.
Sooner or later, they're gonna have security. They haven't yet. There we go. Security.
Oh, really?
And one of these days, and Eric's gonna know security. They know that old guy.
Certainly children's yeah, he's a crazy person. He always says, hi, I'm Larry. I'm the Drury broadcast. Still am. See, I told you he's crazy. That's why. He still is doing it.
What, am I just hallucinating now? Come on, Chris, you're killing it.
I know that you're like there now, like, not like that. No, see, that was me, I a little bit,
A lot of coaches. A lot of freshmen.
We'll wait for that.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Nucleus is probably the turns.
All right, we'll get started here on the women's team here in just a second.
Sit back and enjoy the
hello.
Nope.
Talk loud.
This is nice a lot.
Okay.
Don't yell at me, I'm sensitive.
All right, we'll follow the same process as we did for the men's team. We'll go introductions and an opening statement by Coach Bailey, and questions for our athletes, and questions for Coach Bailey. So we'll start right here, introducing our point guard, Kaylee King. Last year, served mostly as the backup point guard, but in the final 3 games of the year, double digits in points in 27 minutes. Be about a role this year for the Lady Panthers. Then our forward, Sarah Mendel, 8 points, 8 rebounds last season. Is the top returning block shot. Averaged 1.5 blocks last year. And Coach Bailey enters her 3rd year at the head of the Lady Panthers. Last year, 22-7. And then Ree Gibbons, first team All GLBC selection last year. So yeah, we'll have an opening statement for Coach Bailey.
We're excited about this year. Obviously, we got a lot of new faces, but also some familiar faces. I think we got a good blend of new and old, so to speak. But very excited, kind of where we're at, but more excited about where we're going to be in the next couple weeks, next couple months. But excited to see what this group can do this year.
All right, we'll open up questions for the players.
I'll jump first. I mean, just talk a little bit about having so many experienced players back. I mean, it's kind of rare in this environment, like Coach Foster was saying earlier, to have so many people come back. And how will that help get you guys to gel so quickly?
Okay. So Coach Bailey actually talked about this yesterday or 2 days ago in practice. She brought up that having that many returning players is really valuable, especially with having so many new players. We can help bring the new players along with what we want to do. So I think that'll be really important, and it'll be good for us to have so many older people coming in and helping those new people learn what they need to learn, and get them in the right places. So.
Kaylee, for you, right, and since you were kind of the backup last year, coming into this role now, right, you guys don't have someone like Caitlin Daniels, right? She's experienced, great player, of course, but for you guys, what makes it so exciting to now kind of put your own personal stamp on this lineup, this roster?
Yeah, obviously my first 2 years here, I got to learn from two very good point guards and just kind of watch Caitlin Daniels as she played the last 2 years here. So that really gave me a good idea of like what I need to do, what the standard is here. So obviously have been under Coach Bailey as well. So just being out my first year, I learned a lot off the court. So I think that helped me as well. But I think just getting to watch Caitlin and how she navigated the program these last 2 years, and obviously these two players, it's really just kind of put me where I need to be and really see what I need to do, what is best for the team.
I'll add to that Kayla Keene's been looking for this moment, so. Thanks.
I'll follow on what you just said. Living for the moment, how do you keep from just going, hit the ground at 100 miles an hour, just take your time and let the game come to you, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think it's just playing with people like Sarah and Ree, and we have a good team. We have a lot of returners. I think they really helped me become the player that I am, and I think sitting out, I really got to see you really have to just let the game come to you and not really try so hard, but just let it flow and how it needs to be. So I think my time off, I really learned as that, coming from high school to college, it is a big transition, and I think the main thing is just letting the game come to you, playing with pace, and just going from there. So I think it's kind of been an easy transition with the team and coaches that I've been given. So, yeah.
Yeah, Ree, and I guess Sarah as well, you guys are local players, from the Ozarks region, Springfield area. Did you grow up watching Lady Panthers, and how aware are you of the history of the program, and following up on that, what's the key to get this team to where you want to go at the end of the year?
Yeah, I did grow up coming to games, and I actually grew up coming to like the kids camps and stuff that they would hold here. And so I've been around the program for a good part of my life with basketball. And so like it's really cool to see the legacy that the team has left behind, and like now know that our team is a part of that. So it's really cool having our team that gets along really well and gets to add to that legacy. So.
Sarah, what about, is there a key to get to where you want to go at the end of the year? What's this team need to do well?
Yeah, kind of like Bree said, I grew up coming to the games as a kid, and in high school we always came to the team camp, and so you got to kind of see like what that environment was like. And a couple of games that I came to, I just remember like the stands were full and it was packed, and like it was so fun to be around. And also like kind of like showed you like what the standard was, like when they watching them play, it was just fast paced, and like the whole team brought energy, and it kind of just like showed me like what it would mean to like even be a Lady Panther. And so now that I'm here, growing up and seeing that, it helps like kind of set the standard and help the younger ones like know what it means to be a Lady Panther.
Fun fact though, when I was at Quincy, I tried to slightly recruit Ree, watched her play, and then as soon as I found out she was from Nixa and realized where Nixa was, it was right beside Springfield and Drury. I was like, okay, we're not getting her away from Springfield. So, but yeah, anytime I think you can keep local home is great.
Coach, obviously, right, you're one of the few head coaches for this short program, right? But it's been so successful. What is it about this program that continues to breed success?
Yeah, I say it all the time. I said it, I think, the other day in practice. That's why we're all here, right? Like, this is why we all want to come here. It's why I jumped ship from a fellow conference school. I mean, that doesn't happen often, right? And so I think anytime you got a chance to go be a part of a successful program, I mean, obviously it comes with its challenges, but you got to be built for it. But I think just we're one of the few Division IIs that, A, have the facility that we have, a great recruiting tool, right? But then we also just have the support and the resources that we need to be successful. And that starts with administration, believing in us, allowing us to get what we need, and then just the support. I mean, I know in the 3 years that I've been here, and again, 2 years on a different sideline in this league, and I think if you look through any history book, we probably have always led in attendance, right? And that is huge. I mean, just like they said, you know, when you come and you play in front of a crowd, I mean, it gives you a little more juice, a little more energy. And so I just think Drury has always made it a point to make sure we have the support and most importantly, the resources to be competitive and to sustain that competitiveness.
We got one more. You wait your turn. Sarah, you know that basketball, style-wise, right, has changed a lot, right? It's now more of an outside game. But I feel like y'all's style is very complementary. How much fun is it to play in a style where you do get low post touches, like the post is important, but also how physically demanding is it to play college basketball in the post?
Yeah, it's definitely a big change from high school. Pretty much just do whatever you want there, but coming here, like the post play is a big part, but it's also very vital whenever you get to stretch it out and be outside too and kind of play both. So yeah, it was a big change, but I think I've kind of gotten used to it, but yeah.
Picked to finish first in the GLVC, won 17 games last year. First of all, your thoughts on that. Secondly, what needs to improve to get even better than you did last year?
Yeah, obviously very appreciative of being picked number one. I think as Coach Foster said, we don't look too much into preseason polls. We're worried about postseason polls. So, but you know, I will say I think anytime that you are getting compliments or praise from your peers, I think is a great thing. So I think it shows that the people in our league have given, more importantly, these guys the respect. And what we have returning, and in particular, you know, seeing Kaylee and Jazz playing those last few games coming off the bench, because very much known that we did lose some big key pieces, right? We lost, you know, a group of 6 seniors and a couple players that were very important. But just, so I think anytime you can get praise, compliments from your peers is a good thing. But, you know, we're going to celebrate it for, you know, 1 second, and we're going to carry on and probably not talk about it again. But I think, you know, obviously we haven't, we've had 2 really good years. We've almost won 50 games in 2 years, and as any head coach, like, you'll take that, right? 25 and 22 wins in 2 years. It's really, really good. But obviously, you know, this group, myself included, we haven't accomplished what we really want to accomplish. And I think we just got to keep trusting the process. And I think we have the talent. I think right now the biggest thing that we need to shift, and I will say got us in the last 2 years, is our mindset. You know, backs against the wall and just having that mindset to push through some things when things get hard or things don't go our way or a little adversity. There's no doubt that everyone wants to beat us, and we literally get everyone's best game. We joke about it all the time when an assistant coach has a scout and someone is a non-shooter and they hit their first 3 against us usually, but you gotta laugh at that. But I think right now, I think the biggest thing is we have a good group of returners. We have a pretty talented group of new players. We have the talent. Can we get that mindset where we need to be able to compete for a championship?
Looking at your schedule, it stands out. December, you're on the road the whole month.
Yeah, road warriors.
Yeah, is that by design to toughen up the team, or it just worked out that way?
Yeah, no, you know, if there was one thing I could get rid of as a head coach on my to-do list would be scheduling. So, I may like to turn that off to one of the assistants, but no, it's just kind of how it happened. You know, Ferris came here last year, so we returned to them. So we obviously start on the road in our first regular season game with a very good team. You know, had us down by 12 last year. I think we took the lead in the last 2 minutes and then ultimately lost by 4. So now we're going to go on the road to a pretty veteran team to open up and come back and have some home games with our Thanksgiving, our kids' game, our Thanksgiving. But December just kind of felt like that. You know, the GOVC gave us 3 conference games on the road in the same week, which is not our scheduling. And yeah, the other games, and I think I said it before, we go to Union We've agreed to do a home and home, and Coach Campbell was nice enough to say he would come here this year, but selfishly I wanted to get home, and my grandparents haven't, I don't think, seen me be a head coach yet, and they're getting at the age they can't really travel, and Jackson is about maybe 45 minutes from home for me, and so selfishly I asked, can we come to you first and you come to us next year, and he said absolutely. So that was probably the only one that we kind of tweaked a little bit. And you know, before Christmas is always hard to get a game right before break. You want to play as late as you can before you go into break, and just really hard to get somebody. And Fort Smith needed somebody, we needed somebody. They're coming to our tournament. And I said, well, I guess I got to come to you then. So, yeah, kind of how it happened. But I think we'll embrace it again. Be road warriors. You know, at the end of the day, we're going to make good memories on the bus. We have a good time in the hotel. So again, we'll use that time, especially when we're out of school and on the road, to become closer, to work on our chemistry and those things. So we'll make the best of it.
All right, so Reed, with you being a senior and having played in this system now, when you look back at the first time you stepped on the court here compared to now, like how much more do you play free and just let the game come to you as opposed to maybe before trying to prove yourself or trying to learn on the fly?
I mean, yeah, it's very different because, like, as a freshman, you're obviously scared to mess up. So it's great having, like, a team that trusts me and that, like, I know that I can trust them and everything. And, like, I know that we all want the same things. We all want to win. So it's definitely very different coming from that freshman year all the way to here, but it's definitely a good different. I've got to experience a lot of different games and types of teams and everything, and that kind of experience is it's fun. So,
do you feel like, since this is the senior year for you, like you're hungrier than ever for the team to get where you want to go, or do you feel like it's the same competitive drive no matter what year you've played sports?
For me, I feel like it's the same. Obviously, we all want to win. I feel like us as a team can agree with that. Like, we all want to win, and we all want to get to our end goals and everything. So, I feel like it's the same for me. Obviously, we want to get that conference championship. We want to see how far we can go in tournaments and everything. But, yeah, no one wants to lose a game. So, like, I feel like it's the same. Yeah.
Anybody else have any more questions for Coach Bailey or the players? No? All right. They'll be available for one-on-ones in the back if you guys would like them. Thank you guys for coming to today's media day.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.